Hello and welcome to the North Bank podcast. I'm your host Holly and I'm joined by Chris this evening. Hi Chris.
Good evening. I'm glad we got the memo about wearing the black hoodies.
Listen, you're on pretty safe ground if you turn up wearing a black hoodie expecting to look like me, because invariably I will be wearing a black hoodie. Just to spoil it, I'm going to wear a blue one next time, just to throw it up in the air. Actually, not blue. Blue has semblances of Chelsea or connotations of Chelsea, so I won't do blue. I'll do red. I've got a red
yellow,
one.
like an away one. Maybe we could have like colour coding depending on what the result's been. So like maybe a purple for a draw or something. I
just consider myself as the father of the Ashburton army, dressed like this. So because they are all in their 20s, aren't they? So
yes.
Not quite yet the granddad of the Ashburton army, but definitely not on a level.
Definitely the dad.
Footing. Yeah, definitely the dad. Okay, so we're recording this on Monday evening, 24 hours after the Chelsea game. For those of you who saw our instant reaction pod yesterday, we're going to do a little bit of a follow-up on that and look ahead to Brentford on Wednesday. So to begin, you'll notice, eagle-eyed viewers will notice that Steph's not with us. Steph's out having a social life, which is outrageous on a Monday night.
But if he was here, he'd be telling everyone.
Yes, I am going to read verbatim how he's feeling 24 hours later, because he was quite despondent, not angry, but more despondent after the Chelsea. Maybe a little bit angry as well, but not necessarily at Arsenal or anything in particular. So here are his words. Still feels like 2 points dropped. Opportunities like playing team, vying for top places, a man down, don't come often. Find it hard to shake that. I get that we'd had big games, injured players, yada, yada, yada. I'm verbatim here. This was a very good Chelsea team who likely would have won with 11. Which brings me to a 24 hours later observation. For all the praise rightly poured on Chelsea, their discipline has cost them again. We had similar criticism in the past. For Chelsea to really improve, they need to control the aggression. They reminded me of Newcastle at their most horrible. That said, Saka had one of his worst games, still got an assist. Chelsea had one of their best games, still didn't win. We'll tell you how I really feel about yesterday after the Brentford game. Dropping points is one thing, it becoming a bad spell is another. And I think that's got a lot of value to it as well. Drawing away at Chelsea is only a bad result if we don't beat Brentford.
Yep.
In that sense. But I'm going to ask you the same question I posed to Steph earlier, and that is simply, how are you feeling? Do you still feel or view it as 2 points dropped?
Well, the feeling, I think, is different to the kind of, if I can be objective and say, actually, that was a good point, but it feels still like 2 points dropped, because I still look, and I did that thing to myself of watching the replay again, the highlights again this morning. And remember, we spoke yesterday about there was a moment when it was actually, it was Madueke who ran the ball slightly out, and I thought that was what you were referring to, but it was Nkapie that clipped the cross back in. Oh, was it? Okay. That Timber took off of.
Was it out?
Gyökeres's head. No, it wasn't.
Oh,
no, they
don't
played
tell me that.
No, I know. That's what.
Make it up.
And when I watched it, I was thinking, that's the bit that Holly was referring to, of course. And that was, watching it again, it was just, it's those moments, isn't it? That it's the fine lines. We played badly, but we somehow dug it out and we found the winner. So for me, and I'll talk about it later, it was just about finding a slightly higher floor than we had yesterday. Yes, we were a bit lumpy, stodgy, not quite firing on all cylinders, but against 10 men, I still felt we could have just upped it by like 10% to find the winner. So it just still feels like 2 points dropped.
Okay, shall I share my feeling?
Yeah, please.
I don't understand any of the negative takeaways from yesterday's game. I really don't. I can't see it. If there's a conversation to be had, maybe it's about rotation for the Bayern game, because we were just flat, and understandably so. How much rotation could Arteta have done for the Bayern game? And we could have dropped points in that game and no momentum to carry into Sunday, and we could have brought back players, and the same outcome may have occurred. I do recall that Gyökeres was rested for a midweek game and then came back against Burnley, in theory rested, but ended up picking up a hamstring, which has knocked him out for the ensuing 4 weeks. So who knows, resting players is... I mean, in terms of for injury, I just don't know the science behind it. I don't know how it works as individual basis, but it might have helped the energy levels. But I just think that there's so much. That was probably our toughest opponent this season.
Yeah.
I can't think. I'm thinking Newcastle away, we were dominant. Liverpool away, they were a bit meh. Man City at home, we walked away really annoyed that we'd only drawn a game 1-1. Think of actual tough opponents. Sunderland away, the other game we dropped points in. We won it. We created enough chances in that second half to win several games. But yesterday, Chelsea played very, very well. I mean, I really do believe it was their cup final. That's how they played it.
Yeah.
And they still didn't win it. And I think as a full credit to us, I think that was, if they hadn't resorted to violence in the first half, they probably would have won the game. 11v11, I was not confident at all. I predicted 1-1 before the game, but I thought we would perform a little bit better. But come on, the first time since 2021 we've started a Premier League game without either Gabriel or Saliba. And we only lost Saliba 24 hours before kickoff. So we had to all intents and purposes, a brand new centre-back partnership. The knock-on effect of that was Declan Rice played a lot more defensive to try and provide cover for them, so we lost impetus going forward. I just think we had, and then the yellow cards. Calafiori came off at half-time because of his yellow card, so we had a change there, more disruption in the back line there, which is fine if you've got Gabriel and Saliba in the middle, but when you've got Nkapia and Mosquera, but Nkapia in particular, and all of a sudden he's having to play with Miles Lewis-Skelly outside him instead of Calafiori. It has to be disruptive.
Yeah, of course. All three of them on cards as well.
And the Zubimendi yellow cards, and so he's having to rein it in all the time, watching Chelsea assault Arsenal players and get away with it. It's seemingly like at will from the referee. And then we've got Martinelli starting the game, and he's coming back to fitness, so he's going to be a little bit more rusty than... Remember, he was on a great run of form. We've lost Trossard, who was our clutch player, our best player in the last 3 or 4 games, Trossard. We've lost him. More disruption. We've got Ødegaard playing his first real minutes in 2 months. We've got Madueke coming on and finding, he's not got minutes. There was so much disruption on top of that, as well as Chelsea having a far fresher, and at home as well, so the impetus is on them, but they were fired up, as evidenced by the way they set about assaulting us. And 38 minutes in, and Caicedo gets a red card. He should be double red carded for simulation as well, because the way he went down, you knew he wasn't injured at all. He knew he was in trouble. And the thing is, he could have had 2 yellow cards before that for manhandling our players. Or did he push? He pushed Marino over right in front of the referee. Yeah, Marino went down like a sack of spuds, but Caicedo still got 2 hands on him and pushed him as a yellow card.
And he did the same to Eze a few minutes later.
And shoulder charged into the back of Timber. Was it Timber or Saka?
Yeah, he was charging around.
Yeah, like a bull in a china shop.
Yeah. There was a bit as well that Steph sent a little clip of. Did you see that this morning? Where
when they kicked
Madueke in the second half, obviously when he came on as a sub.
Yeah.
It was Enzo Fernandez and Shaggy, what's his name, Cucurella, giving him a kick and turning around and giving him verbals as well while he's lying on the ground. Obviously because he was, he's a traitor in their eyes.
And without Gabriel and Saliba, we are a little bit softer in terms of that physical approach. If nothing else, the lack of experience that Nkapia and Mosquera have in the Premier League, and Mosquera in terms of his age anyway. So they obviously realised that without Gabriel, and then their eyes must have lit up when Saliba wasn't in the team, because their physical approach was going to have some impact on us. And it did, and of course it would. Why wouldn't it? It's like, and I think we did incredibly well in the second half to keep our heads and to keep 11 men on the pitch, given the context, given the circumstances. All I can see is 1st of December, a third of the way through the season. We've got a really tough away game out of the way. We haven't lost. We're 5 points clear. Like, that for me yesterday was a point gained. I don't care it was against 10 men. They were more dangerous with 10 men than we were with 11, because we at the end of, and this is where it comes back to that rotation thing, just to kind of re-energise the team. But we didn't have the subs on form to come off the bench and re-energise us, like Martinelli coming off the bench would have been good, and he would have come off the bench had Trossard been available, but we lost him. So it's like, within the context of the game, I think that was I think a point gained. And I'm sorry Steph's not here, because I want to kind of, see if I can convince him not to be so sad.
Well, I think being there as well has probably just impacted him even more, from that point of view. But I'm sure he'll come round, as I will. And I just hope I do see it as a point gained, in a few months' time.
Well, we could have lost that game.
Easily.
So easily.
Yeah.
And if they hadn't had Caicedo sent off, we would have lost that game. We were that impotent against 10.
Yeah.
They would have been all over us with 11. And the subs didn't do it, and Saka had a poor game. Saka had a poor game, as Steph said, but still got an assist. Chelsea played their best game ever in the world and drew 1-1 and celebrated as such. If anything, and I've seen bits of highlights today of key moments, if anything, the Chelsea goal was interesting, because I was blaming Mosquera on the goal line for not playing the ball, like just concerned about where Fernandes was. But actually, Fernandes was offside. At the point the ball was flicked on, Fernandes was offside. Apparently VAR looked at it and decided that he wasn't interfering sufficiently with the defender. I'm like, he was the reason Mosquera didn't jump for it. If Mosquera just jumped for the ball, he'd have cleared it off the line. Like, it wouldn't have gone in. He just realised too late that he didn't need to worry about Fernandes, and he could have gone for the ball because he just did the head movement. He didn't actually jump. So, and again, I didn't, it wasn't flagged up at the time, so it's obviously not a big deal to people, but their goal should have been disallowed. Technically, it was offside. There's a guy, I don't know his name, I should have made a note of his name. A guy on the BBC does, I didn't know this, I just saw it today for the first time. Apparently, he does a VAR rundown on all the key VAR events over the weekend, and he did quite a few on the Chelsea game, because Maresca, in his post-match presser, said that, no, he thought the Caicedo one was a red card, absolutely. But then he flagged up the, Bentancur tackle on one of the Chelsea players a couple of weeks earlier as a very similar tackle, but was only a yellow card. And so the guy on the BBC was saying, well, actually, they weren't quite the same. It was a little bit higher. It was the 2 feet in, so you can see why one was red and one was yellow. But he then went into the offside when he says it was offside. It's the Robertson. He also then said, well, if the Robertson thing hadn't happened, we wouldn't be having this conversation at all. But he was interfering with the defender who could have cleared it off the line, in my opinion. Watch it again.
Oh, do I have to?
Tell me what you think.
Yeah.
So I can't see it as 2 points dropped. I think, going away to the team in second place, who'd just beaten Barcelona 3-0 at their ground, and they were really fired up for us. I think we did really well. We could have lost that game. Talk about a squad tester. The two. I mean, I haven't heard. Have you heard today anything about Saliba?
No. I mean, they're going to be tight-lipped now, aren't they, with Brentford coming up in 2 days? I doubt we'll hear anything until tomorrow. If anything, there'll be Mikel's usual pre-match presser, and it will be...
scans tomorrow will decide. Another training session. There you go.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the scan reference is becoming a staple of his press conferences, which is not a great sign of as to how we're keeping everybody fit.
Yeah.
But anyway, okay, let's do the 4 takeaways. So, who was your man of the match?
Well, I mean, I think that Reece James was obviously the standout man for the match, but for us, I think Marino.
No, I'm talking about Arsenal. I'm talking about Chelsea.
I know. I would say Marino.
Yeah, okay. I've written down Rice or Timber just because of Rice's different role yesterday, and Timber again was like excellent defensively and the mainstay at the back. But yeah, Marino probably was because of the goal as well. So I didn't. Do you know what? I didn't think of Marino, but I've just literally crossed mine out, and I'll add Marino in there. I like Steph's man of the match just to reflect his buoyancy this today. None of the above is what he's written for man of the match. None of the above.
He's still feeling sore.
Wait till you get his answer for the next one. So,
okay.
Who were you most impressed by? And again, this is with an Arsenal.
Yeah.
Look.
I actually did put. I was impressed by by Chelsea's energy, but I haven't got anything for us because I don't think I was impressed.
Okay, so I've written down. I refuse to offer any Chelsea responses to like no, they're horrid, all of them, and 6 red cards this season is a testament to that. I've written Hincapié just because he didn't give up too many. He gave one mistake in the first half, got a yellow card, and then had to keep it together. And he did a tackle on, was it Pedro Neto?
Yeah.
And again, it was a really good tackle, really important tackle as well. Went out for a corner, and he was just like in his face. And I'm like screaming at the TV, "No, calm down, man!"
Yes, that's why I wrote in the group chat. Can't just call it.
But that's we love Gabriel when he does that.
He tends not to do it in the opposition's face, though. He does it to his own teammates. It's a different.
Yeah, it could have backfired.
Yeah. Well, what worries me about that kind of emotional thing is an outburst that tells the opposition that you can be rattled. That's how it feels. It's like the same argument we were having about why we loved Aaron Ramsdale, because of his passion, because he would give it back to the fans behind him in the goal and banter with them and all the rest of it. I don't want that in a goalkeeper, and I prefer the same really in a centre half, because it's that sort of position where you can be, it's that needle in a game, the sledging that goes on between players. I get all that, but when it tips over slightly and you can be rattled.
But they're like, that's Gabriel and Saliba, isn't it? Mosquera and Hincapié. That's, Mosquera is cool as cucumber. And that's Saliba. Whereas Gabriel's more in your face, up and at 'em kind of attitude to defending. Okay, so I was struggling. At least I picked an Arsenal player. That's a good.
Two. Yeah, no, but I agree with you, and I think it was a baptism of fire really for him, particularly because he hadn't had as many minutes as Mosquera. So
someone should have a little quiet word with them and say, not every Premier League game's going to be like that.
Please,
please. Steph's impressed by Maresca, and I feel dirty even saying that. We need to check in on Steph later, I think.
Wearing a blue scarf, yeah.
What's your positive takeaway?
That we're getting players back. That's what my main thing really was, just the overall thing of, like you mentioned earlier, about how we set up from the beginning, or rather who we brought on. And the next phase is, of course, to start starting those players that are coming back. So for me, just seeing them get back on the pitch, Odegaard, Gyökeres, Martinelli, Madueke yesterday, brilliant.
I've actually got the same positive takeaway as Steph, and that is that we didn't lose.
Yeah.
I think that's true. It's like, if you can't win a game, what's that old adage? If you can't win it, don't lose it.
Yeah.
And we were never going to win that game, so we could easily have lost it.
Yeah, for sure.
What's your negative takeaway?
Oh, I'd love to hear Steph's.
Well, he's actually delivered quite a large cop-out because... Well, I can understand why, and it would have to have been a voice note, and I would have just played it. Actually, I could have done that. His negative takeaway is where to start, and then he doesn't.
Okay.
Where to start? ...
Yeah,
so quite a few.
For me, like I said before, and you've put a really good case forward there, but for me, as a feeling, it was just the inability to find the floor to operate from when things are going badly. That's all. That was the feeling.
But can you understand why? Well, they're not robots.
Of course I do.
So why are we so hard on them?
Because we're fans and we're emotionally led, I guess.
I'm a fan and I'm emotionally led, but I can still appreciate that they gave everything yesterday. It just wasn't enough. And that happens.
Okay. I've seen teams move 10 men around better than we did yesterday, and that's something for me as a basic kind of.
We weren't allowed to.
Okay, well,
it's like you got to give credit to Chelsea. I think that name a tougher opposition that we've played this season. From the first minute.
I think I agree. I think they were aggressive and they were a better team yesterday.
Yeah, much. Energy, even tactically, the way they didn't play the false nine. They had, what's his name, João Pedro. Is it Pedro, is that right? The fluidity, the aggression, the pace, everything was... And they were aggressive, in your face, like over the line multiple times. That was hard to live with.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I think Man City have to go there yet, don't they?
Yes.
And I look at 13 games in and we've got Chelsea away, Liverpool away, United away, Newcastle away, Sunderland away. Tough game. We've got them out of the way. It's like there's a tough away games. Another one coming up on Saturday, Villa away, who are on an amazing run. But we'll talk about that game on Thursday. What was I saying? Oh, my negative takeaway is just we didn't win. That was it. It's like it's like we didn't win. Okay, that's fine. I'm not going anything else. Anything else to say about yesterday's game?
No, I think we covered it all yesterday as well in the sort of immediate reaction. But I think it's let's park it and move on. And like I said, just hopefully we'll look back and definitely see it as a point gained.
You look at the Martinelli late equaliser against Man City.
Yeah, huge.
And we were irritated, ridiculously irritated by the fact it was only a draw, and yet that's not quite at the moment, but a game ago that was the only reason we were still top was that goal, because 2 points more for them, 2 points less for us, 4-point swing. So anyway, okay, Brentford rock up 7:30 kickoff on Wednesday, so it's quite early. Are you going to commit on air now as to whether you're going or not?
To be confirmed.
I think we all know what that means.
I don't know.
Myself and Steph, obviously, midweek, it's difficult, so we won't be there. Brentford are an interesting one because Keith Andrews, their manager, I had him down as one of the first managers to potentially be sacked. It goes to show what I know about football. He's having a fantastic season with Brentford. I mean, really, really impressive. They are 8th.
Yeah.
8th.
Considering who they've lost as well, personnel-wise.
Yeah. There's 6 wins and 1 draw from their games. Last time out, they beat Burnley 3-1 late on at their ground. The only thing I will say about them is that their away record form isn't great. Their last 2 away games they lost 2-1 at Brighton and 2-0 at Palace. Then you're back. I think they won at West Ham in September, in mid-October at some point. I can't remember when. So their away form is not fantastic. They're definitely missing Carvalho, Malambo and Da Silva. Igor Thiago, who is on fire at the moment, he's only 2 or 3 goals behind Haaland, and he's got 11 goals this season in the Premier League. That's mental. When he had 13 games, he went off with a little bit of an injury after he scored his brace against Burnley, but I haven't heard that that's anything beyond that. He's obviously their main threat. They've obviously got Jordan Henderson in midfield and Caoimhín Kelleher, ex of Liverpool, in goal. After that, I think Damsgaard's their kind of creative player, but I don't know a lot else about their team, to be fair. I don't think I've watched any of their games. They ran City close, didn't they?
No, I agree. I think they've just been a bit of a dark horse because they've got lost a lot of their core, and I had them struggling this year, and so it is very impressive of Keith Andrews. Really,
and he didn't have the best start either, but
No.
he's could easily have gone another way, but no. Who's that? Mbermo went to
Wissa, Norgard,
club captain. Yeah, so they lost. I don't know what percentage of their goals last season, but a large portion of their goals left, and their club captain.
Yep.
And they've actually kicked on, if anything. So fair play. That's impressive. And so they won't be. I mean, we've got a we've got a next couple of games. So midweek and the weekend of potential banana skins for the title challenges. So we've got Brentford at home, which we should win. Like, let's be honest, we should beat them. And we've got Villa away. Chelsea have got 2 away games at Leeds and Bournemouth without Caicedo, which is great. And the ankles of the Leeds and Bournemouth players will be grateful for that. And City go to Fulham tomorrow night. So that would be interesting. I think they've got they're home to Sunderland. Is it home to Sunderland on Saturday, I think, City? Sunderland's next 2 games are away at Liverpool and away at City, I think. So come on, Sunderland. I loved my trip up to Sunderland and the fans are all fantastic. So come on. You took 2 points off us. Do the same for at least City on Saturday. Whatever happens, if you've got to forego one of them, forego the Liverpool game and take the points off City, please. That'd much appreciated. How are you feeling about Brentford then?
Yeah, it's just become more important now, hasn't it? You know, like Steph said earlier about the context, that we'll view it differently. If we win comfortably against Brentford, the Chelsea game becomes a lot easier to cope with, you know, for the likes of me and Steph at the moment. So yeah, I'm going into it with a confidence as well, because I think it's a game we should be winning reasonably comfortably.
Okay, I'll read you Steph's team selection for Wednesday. So he said Raya in goal, Timber at right back. Now he's put down Saliba. Obviously he's put Mosquera in brackets. We don't know the nature of Saliba's knock, and I think that's fine. Hincapié and Calafiori, and midfield 3, Zubimendi, Rice and Erdegaard, obviously in for Eze, and he's got Saka, Gyökeres and Madueke on the left. So that's his team. What's your team?
I want to try and move it around a bit, rotate a tiny bit. Raya, White, starting White. I've got the same Saliba / Mosquera, Hincapié, Calafiori. Same midfield, Zubimendi, Rice and Erdegaard in front, with Saka, Gyökeres and Martinelli.
Okay, I might have gone galaxy brain on this. Bearing in mind it's Villa away on Saturday lunchtime. I've put down Timber, but I've put down Timber if Saliba is out, Timber will start. If Saliba plays, I think he'll play White. That's the way around. I think he'll do it. I think he'll offer if Saliba's there, then the extra security is not needed.
Least disruption, I guess. Yeah.
Yes. Hincapié and Calafiori. Now, I'm actually this is ridiculous. I'm looking at what I've written down. Because it's Brentford, I think Norgard should start. Now, whether Norgard starts in place of Zubimendi or alongside Zubimendi, I've got him down in place of Zubimendi, and I've got Merino instead. So I've got Rice and Zubimendi benched, rested, and I've got Norgard, Merino and Erdegaard as my midfield 3. And I've got Madueke on the right. I've got Saka benched as well. I think Saka needs a rest. He was poor against Chelsea. I think he'll come on for the last 20 minutes, not a problem. But I think I just want Madueke on the right. I just think he's more electric on the right, and he got his goal against Bayern a minute after switching to the right. And I've got Gyökeres through the middle and Martinelli left. I'm saying that with the reality that Gyökeres probably isn't fit enough to start the game, and he certainly won't go beyond 60 minutes. Marino's played a lot of football in the last week, so he could do with the rest as well. But I've got him. So I've got Norgard, Merino, Erdegaard, and then Madueke, Gyökeres and Martinelli. But listen to the bench. With that team starting, the bench is ridiculous. Saka, Eze, Zubimendi, Rice, White or Timber, Kepa, Jesus and Ranieri.
Wow. Yeah.
I mean, that's some bench. And again, it would be good if the Saliba injury, and I haven't got Trossard there because I don't know about Trossard's not, because his was muscular, calf muscle, just feel a little bit longer. We didn't see what Saliba's was, but the word knock, I mean, it's deliberately he used the word knock, I guess, just to temper any panicking that might ensue. But he did say he doesn't think it's too bad.
Yeah.
I don't believe him.
What are you feeling? I mean, that's clearly you've gone Galaxy Brain as your kind of idea of what you would maybe see. What do you think will actually be the starting 11?
I think one of Rice or Zubimendi won't start. I think Norgard will play instead of... If I'm really picking Arteta's brain, he'll play Norgard instead of Zubimendi, and Rice will play. Rice will start. It depends on Gyökeres's fitness as to whether Mourinho plays as the striker again. But I personally would love to see Gyökeres play 60 minutes, make a triple substitution on the hour mark, get him and Ødegaard and whoever.
It's part of the reason I want to see White start is because it rekindles that relationship with Ødegaard and Saka, which has worked so well in the past. And it just feels like a really good game to be bringing players like Gyökeres and Martinelli back in from the start, just to get them, give them proper minutes. And Ødegaard,
well, that's
of course.
how I feel about Madueke alongside, resting Saka.
Yeah,
Saka was poor yesterday. He's so effective. When he's in that position of making the right choice.
Yeah, it was uncharacteristically inefficient, wasn't it?
Yeah. Can you, off the top of your head, we've got Brentford
Villa
on Wednesday. We got Villa on Saturday. Who have we got next midweek?
I can tell you because I was just looking at that. Hang on a sec.
If you can get it before me, that'd be useful.
We need some music, some like lounge music. We've got Bruges in the
Champions League.
Yeah, on the Wednesday away.
It's not a long trip.
And then the following Saturday's Wolves.
And that's the 8:00 kickoff on a Saturday, isn't it?
Yes.
Interestingly, the Everton game is put back on that 8:00 in the evening. But then I realised that their AFCON players are gone for that, which is good because that's two of their Ndai and Gay, I think. So two of their integral players are gone for that game. I'm already looking ahead and thinking, oh, floodlights at Everton. Oh no, especially when it was moved from like lunchtime the following day, lunchtime on a Sunday or evening on a Saturday. No, I know which one I prefer. But anyway, that's success because we've got into the quarterfinal of the League Cup. Right. Steph's score prediction is a 2-1 win.
Okay.
What's yours?
Yeah, I was worried that we would concede again, like we've been conceding every game now since Gabriel dropped out. Can I just say we did concede 2 goals in his when he played against Sunderland? Of course, yeah.
Steph said we'd conceded in 3 games as well. At the time we hadn't. Now we have conceded in 3 without Gabriel.
Yeah. I've got us keeping a clean sheet on Wednesday though, so it's 2-0.
2-0. Well, we've got 3 different scores now. I've gone for 3-1.
Okay.
I'm back to us conceding a goal a game.
I'll take it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, to be fair, any win. I mean, it would be. I don't think a rusty performance and a narrow one goal victory is going to have any bearing on how we play against Villa on Saturday. Villa, for their part, play away at Brighton, which is a tough game. If Brighton beat Villa, Brighton go above Villa, which would be good because since Steph told us that stat that we'd drop points against every time we'd face the top 4 opposition, I'm now bloody well, the machinations in my head now, Villa are currently in the top 4, so I need Brighton to beat them so they're not in the top 4 when we face them, so we can then go and beat them. I think that's how it works. It's all scientific.
Or not.
Of course it is.
So the last bit of tidbit of other news is probably something you've heard about the Ecuadorian twins, which made me laugh because it just thought we were talking about Arsene Wenger having a laboratory where he's breeding all these players. But for God, I don't know where we found these Ecuadorian twins, Edwin and Holger Quintero. They're 16 at the moment. They're on the books at Independiente de Valle, the club that developed Hincapié and Moises Caicedo. Boo. And they are eligible to join us when they turn 18 in August 2027. So I don't know who's next. It's going to be, obviously, it's going to be Waneri's brother, isn't it, who's 15 at the moment.
I don't know. Well, we've got the Irish guy from Shamrock
belt.
Rovers who's joining. We've paid £2 million. It's Shamrock or Shelburne, I can't remember now, one of the Dublin clubs. And he's coming on his 18th birthday, which might be 2027 as well. I think, could be. He's 16 and he's like already playing for the first team. I know one of these twins is an attacking midfielder, but after that I didn't hear about the other one.
Yeah.
Who are name the twins that United had from South America? Raphael and...
Oh, yeah. Oh, God, what was their surname? Was the surname Raphael? No.
I don't know now. I can hear people shouting at me.
Yeah.
The answers.
Answers on a postcard.
Yeah. Where can people find us, Chris?
Oh, yeah. They can find us on our socials at the North Bank Pod and on YouTube, which is growing in popularity, and we're getting a lot of feedback, which is lovely. So keep the comments coming.
Yeah,
on that.
absolutely. Yeah, there's been a lot more feedback or chat interaction across all our platforms in the last few weeks, and long may that continue. And personally, I'm just amazed anybody's listening to anything I've got to say anyway, but they seem to be tuning in from all four corners of the world. So who coined that? Because
it's a flat earther thing, is it?
Is it? Yeah, four corners. Yeah, it must be.
No, but it is great, and do keep those comments coming and just letting us know where you're listening from or watching from, because it is, it's fascinating how we're building a community which is, truly global. So it's great. Indeed.
And join us on this amazing journey that has not just suffered a hiccup. That was a point gained. Don't listen to Chris or Steph or any other of your Eeyore mates. That was a good point, and we will look back on that point as a good point come the end of the season. Mark my words. Don't clip this, Steph, and put it out for the record, just in case. Anyway, cheers for the chat. We'll be back again with an instant reaction after Wednesday, when you're going to do a little video from the game.
From my seat in the Emirates, yeah.
Yes. And we'll look ahead then to the Villa game on Thursday, perhaps. All right, thank you very much. See you next time. Bye.
Bye. The North Bank, an Arsenal podcast. Subscribe, rate and review on your app, and find us on your socials at North Bank Pod. Email hello@thenorthbankafc.com and check out our website, thenorthbankafc.com. Produced by the Podcast Company.